Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Begin in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. So today, inshallah, we're going to do a bit of review from the last lesson. We will review a little bit and then we'll do a little practice exercise, inshallah ta'ala. Now, who remember what we covered last week? What was the topic? What's it called? The elongation, right? Elongation, or in Arabic is called the mud. The mud. And the mud basically is where you're elongating a fatha, a dhamma, or a kasra. And we said there are three letters that comes after the letter that has the fatha, dhamma, or kasra. Three letters that are used for elongation basically. What are those three letters? Use alif. What else? What's the next letter? Alif, waw, and one more. Alif, waw, and ya. Very good. Alif, waw, and ya. So which one is alif used for? Alif is used to elongate the fatha. And which one is used to elongate the kasra? The ya is used to elongate the kasra. And what about the dhamma sound, the u sound? The waw. Okay. So, for instance, give me an example of a word from the list that you had for homework. A word where the kasra is elongated. Give me an example of a word in which the kasra is elongated. So we did several words. We did 9 words last week for homework, right? Give me an example of one of those 9. So it's page 47 in Miftah al-Arabiya, Gateway to Arabic. Give me an example of a word where the kasra is elongated with a ya. There are 3 of them. Second row. Those 3 words. Sarirun, filun, and rishatun. Okay? So, sarir is a bed, right? Sarirun. Notice the first row, there are 2 rows there. The first row, this one has a kasra, and we want to elongate it. We want to make it re. We put a ya after it. Sarirun, sarirun, sarirun. What else is elongated? How do you read that word? Filun. Filun. Fil is an elephant. Filun. Filun. Okay, and give me an example. What's the last word on the second row? Should be very, very easy. Rishatun. 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 Which letter is being elongated here? The ra, right? Rishatun. Rishatun. Okay. Okay, now give me an example of a fatha being elongated. A fatha is being elongated. From that same page 47. Well, the first is correct, but well, you mix up the vowels here. Kitabun. Kitabun. Okay. Kitabun. Okay, yeah, question? You write from the right, going to the left. Yeah. Kitabun. Notice the ta has a fatha and you're elongating it with the alif. Kitabun. What else? Babun. What's a babun? A door, right? Babun. What else? Hmm? Sa'atun. 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 Which letter is elongated here? Not sod. Sin. Sa'atun. Sa'atun. Now, give me an example of a dhamma that is elongated. A dhamma that is elongated. How do you read it? Hutun. 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 Yeah, what is a hutun? A whale. Hutun, right? Hutun. Hutun. So which letter is elongated there? The ha. Hutun. Okay, what else? Dudatun. 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 What else is elongated? Give me the next one. Walaikum salam. Boomatun. Boomatun. What's a boomatun? An owl, right? Boomatun, an owl. Boomatun. An owl. Boomatun. And what's dudatun? A worm. Hutun is a whale. So we have bed, elephant, feather, book, door, watch, whale, worm, owl. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna give you a writing exercise. So take out your books. Take out a piece of paper. I'll give you a few words and I want you to write it. All right. This should be very, very easy. You're not gonna be surprised. Remember, part of the intent of this course is to prepare you to write. You should be able to write. And you got to practice at home. Practice your writing at home. Okay? So the first word is sa'atun. 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 Write the word sa'atun. Sa'atun. Sa'atun, right? Okay. So tell me if it looks like this. Sa'atun. Did you get it? Huh? You got the sa correct? Sa'atun. Remember, this is a ayn. Sa'atun. So you gotta pick out the ayn, the ayn sound. Next, filun. 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 Okay, tell me if it looks like this. Did you get it? Filun. Filun. This should be easy, guys. It's the same. Only 9 words. We're just playing around with it. Filun. Okay, next. Boomatun. 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 Sound it out. Boomatun. 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 Remember, we gotta practice this stuff because the next lesson is gonna be something else, something newer. So if you didn't perfect this, it'll be hard. Okay, boomatun should look like this. Boomatun. 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 Sa'atun filun boomatun. 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 Okay. Okay, now, next thing I'm going to ask you now, write the word, because this is also homework assignment. Close your books now and write the word for book. Write the word for book, vocabulary test. Translate book in Arabic and write it down. Book. And you can't write bukun. You can't write bukun and just put like in Spanish, some people do that. What's the Spanish word for book? Buco. El buco. What's the Spanish word for pen? El peno. No. Can't do that. Sometimes it's right, I know, right? Like map. La mapa. The word for book. Okay, next. Okay, we're going to have to write it out on the board. So book should look like this. Kitabun. Kitabun, book. Kitabun, book. Write the word out for whale. A whale. Whale. Oh, you're supposed to know it. You're supposed to know it. Word for whale. Whale. Okay, the word for whale is hutun. Hutun. And write the word for elephant. There's a whole chapter in the Quran that talks about the elephant. What a story of the elephant. Elephant. So word for elephant is filun. Filun. Elongating the fa. Filun. Filun. Okay, so that's going to be our practice for the mud. You can also, if you want to practice it, you could practice 44, 45, 46 in Miftahul Arabiya. Also in the Qaida Nuraniya, the yellow book, we can practice, we can find it in lessons 8, 7, 8. Okay. 9 also. So let's practice lesson 9 in that's page 16 in this book. Page 16 in this book. Okay, some of the things are going to be a little bit different than I used to. Okay, but we'll get used to it inshallah. Okay, what about 2.1? The first, you see where it says lesson 9? 2.1, the first little square there. How would you pronounce that? Very important. Huh? Amana. Amana, right? So make sure you elongate the a. Amana. Very good. What about the next one? Now, see the last letter you see there? Treat that as an alif. Just treat it as an alif. Awa. Awa. These are all words. They have meanings, you know. Amana means to believe. Awa, right, means to to take refuge. Next. 2.3. What is it? Aniyatin. 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 Next. Now with that word, yeah, that word is ilaf. Ilaf. So the first letter is elongated by, that should be a ya, but it's not written in normal Arabic, you know. But that's actually a ya. Ilafi. Ilafi. Like li'ilafi Quraysh. Okay. Ilafi. Next. Okay, that you're not. Well, technically, we didn't do that yet. So don't do that one. Skip that one. Go to 3.1. Do 3.1. We'll come back to this lesson when we finish today's lesson. The new lesson for today, we'll come back to it. Do 3.1. Ja'a. Ja'a. What about? Okay. Yes, 3.2 is the second letter. See the second letter in 3.2? It's not pronounced. So that's why it's a little bit confusing. The third one you got to pronounce, yeah. But G-A, that's correct. G-A. 3.3. In. Ju'in. Ju'in means hunger. Ju'in. What about okay, go to 4.1. Try 4.1. You're elongating the first letter. 4.1. Dhalika. Dhalika means that. Dhalika. Try 4.3. Hmm? Sha'a. Sha'a. What is the last letter you see there? You know what's the name of that letter? Hamza, right? Sha'a. Huh? It can go on the Hamza can go on the alif or a ya or a waw. What about 4.4? You pronounce it. Remember alif. Ah. I know what you're trying to say. Yes, and what you mean is correct, but what you said actually, yeah, Hamza is not an alif. Hamza is not an alif. People confuse Hamza with alif. Alif is just a letter that is used to extend a sound, like a mud. Like how we use alif here, sa, right? Kitab. But alif itself doesn't have a sound. It doesn't have a sound. If we put alif and we say, pronounce alif, technically there's no sound to alif. It's the Hamza that gives you the a, I, u sound. But people are used to seeing the Hamza written on alif. It's written on alif and they say, look, that's alif, but it's actually Hamza. It's a little bit technical, you know. Okay, what about 4.4? Maliki, good. Maliki, very good. What about 4.6? Tagha. Tagha. The ghain is being elongated. Tagha. Tagha means to transgress. Tagha means to transgress. What about 5.3? Adin. Adin, very good. What about 5.4? Ala. Ala. Ala means what? On. On. On something, right? Ala. Okay, and 5.6, the last one. Fihi. Fihi. Now, okay, I want you, if you have the book now, take a little pencil and write these, put a little check mark next to the ones I want you to practice. 6.1. 6.1. 6.3. 7.2. 7.3. 7.4. Let me just take it off on mine also so I'll know which ones. Okay, 6.8, sorry, 8.1. 8.2. 8.3. 8.4. 8.5. 8.6. The next page now, page 17. 1.1. 1.2. 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, the whole line, all of line 1, and all of line 2, and all of line 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9. No, sorry. From 9, I just want you to do 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, just 9.4. All right? You got all those? So basically the whole page except for, did you write that down? You got it?
It's basically 1.1 all the way through 9.4.
Yes, that's it. That's it. So all that for practice, right? You do that for practice. That's homework. Okay, now we're going to do a new lesson, inshallah. The lesson for today is called the sukoon. Okay, the sukoon. Sukoon. So sukoon is very important because the ones that we had to skip is because it involves the sukoon. So once we cover today's lesson, technically you're ready for the sukoon. Okay. Okay, we can even write the word in Arabic now because you know how to write it. Sukunun. Can you read that? Sukunun. Yeah, we have all the tools to read that word now. Sukun. Right? Sukunun. Sukun means a silent. It means sukun means sakin, meaning it's not a vowel. Right? It's not a vowel. So we can call it a consonant. We saw that there were 3 vowels, right? A, I, U. Fatha, Dhamma, Kasra, right? Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma. A, I, U. Now, what if you just want the B sound from a ba? Or you want the M sound from a mim? Or the S sound from a sin? Or the D sound from a dal? Right? You put a sukoon on it. And a sukoon is just a little circle that goes on top of the letter. And some books, some masahif, some copies of the Quran, a sukoon is written like this. Like a C. Not a C, I mean like a semicircle basically. Right? Half of a circle or sometimes 3/4 of a circle, maybe like this. That's how you'll see it. These are all sukoons. Sometimes a sukoon is there and there's nothing written on it. Some people use that pattern. If there's a sukoon on it, we don't write any vowels. So if there's a fatha, I put a fatha, kasra, dhamma, dhamma is a sukoon, don't put anything on it. Okay? So there are different ways of writing it, sukoon, or identifying a sukoon. Again, all it does, it gives you the s sound from a sin, the m sound from a meme, and so on. So for instance, what if I gave you a hamza and I put a sukoon on it? How do you pronounce it? That's it. Just the sound. Sound. That's the hamza with a sukoon. What about a ba with a sukoon? B, just the b, b. Right? Just the b. Actually, not even the b. You don't even hear b or b or bu. Just all you can hear is b, the b. It's like you silent. You kind of like muzzle a sound. B. Right? Sukoons are not easy to pronounce by itself. It's normally pronounced and you hear it clearly when there's a vowel before it and one after it. Okay? In words. I'll give you an example. If I gave you the word this is a long word, right? You'll get the idea. The sukoon is right here. We got a meme, a ba, a sin, a waw, and a ta. But I want you to focus on the first part. Focus on this. Let's break it up into two parts. Let's pronounce the meme and then the ba. Meme with a fatha, ba with a sukun. What does that sound like? Huh? Mab. Mab. You hear the ba at the end, mab. Mab. You can't say mabba or mabi or maba or mabu. Just mab. Mab. And what about this part of it? We did this in last lesson. This should be just review. Sutun. Sutun. Suit. Sutun, right? So join it together. Mab, and then you have sutun. What does it sound like? Mabsutun. Mabsutun. Mabsut is used a lot. Mabsut, they use that. If somebody asks you, how you doing? Say mabsut. Means everything is good, you know? Mabsut. Okay, let me give you another example. Okay. Okay, what about this word? Let's identify each letter here. What's this letter? Meme, sin. No. Jim. That's Jim. And what's the last letter? No. Dal. This is Dal. So the lam will be all the way up here. Dal, right? Meme, sin, Jim, Dal. Which letter has a sukun on it? Sin, right? So let's try to break it into two. Wow. Meme and sin. How do you pronounce this? Mas. Mas. And next? Jidun. Jidun. Masjidun. Masjidun, right? Masjid. This is a masjid is a mosque. A mosque. The Arabic word is masjid. Masjid, right? Okay, let's do another one. Okay. Putting it over here. Okay. What letters are there? Let's identify the letters. Hamza. Noon. Fa. Hamza, Noon, Fa. Let's try to pronounce it together all in one. No, don't put any vowel on the noon. The noon has a sukun. So you can just say n. N. An. That's good. An. Anfun. Anfun is your nose. Anfun is your nose. Nose is anfun. Anfun, nose. That's the word for nose. Next, let's do the word for rose. A rose. I'm going to do it over here, right? Sorry. Okay. What are the letters? Let's pronounce the letters. Identify it. Waw, Ra, Dal, Ta marbuta. How do you pronounce it? War. War, that's correct. War, that's the sukun there. War. What's the end? Datun. Wardatun. Wardatun. Wardatun is a rose. Wardatun. Okay. Next, let's try this one. What letters are here? What's this first letter? Ba. What's the second letter? Third letter? Ta. Let's pronounce it. No, what is this? A ya with a sukun. A ya with a sukun is going to sound like what? Yi. Yi. So bay, bay, Baytun. Baytun is a house. Baytun is a house. Okay. Next word. Let's try to pronounce this one. Ibratun. Very good. Ibratun. Ibratun is a needle. Ibratun is a needle. Okay. Next. Long words now, right? Okay. After the scene, this is a to. Well, it can be mas. Mim has a kasra. Miss. 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 Tara. Mistaratun. Mistaratun is a ruler. Like a ruler, a stationary item. Ruler. Mistaratun.
Okay, what's the ruler as in like that ruler or ruler of like kingdom?
No. The ruler of a kingdom is like, he's called Malik. Mistaratun is a ruler. Like a ruler, pencil, sharpener. You draw lines with it.
Yeah, like that one.
Yeah. Mistaratun. Next one. We're going to learn the word for skull. Skull. Let me erase the board so I can. Word for skull. Okay, writing in red. It should be easy for you guys. Try it. Jumjumatun. Very good. Jumjumatun. Jumjuma, right? What's the word for a rabbit? Arnabun. Arnab. So here the ra, arnabun. Remember that Arabic, the ra is pronounced off of the tongue. So if you say arnabun, it's wrong actually, you know. Arnabun. 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 Arnab is a rabbit. And next, the word for banana. What would it be? Mau. Mim fata. Mauzatun. 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 Okay. You can find these words on page 48, the sukun. Okay. Also, on page 48 at the top, there's some words. Let's try to read it. On the top of page 48. There are no pictures, just words. It says, try reading the following words. Let's start from the right-hand side. What's the first one? Kafata is kam. 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 Let's put it up on so it can be seen. Okay, so we're starting with kam, the first one. Ka, fata, mim, sukun. Kam, lam, min, yeah, that's right. Fourth one is qul, qaf, right? So qul. Next one. Qif. That's a qaf and a fa. Qif. Qif. Next. Bal. Ud. Very good. Okay, now let's try reading the next line now. The next line. So again, we're going to start from the right hand side, okay? Bayna. Yep. Zaytunun. Zaytunun. Next. Laymunun. Laymunun. Next. Baydatun. Baydatun. Next. Aynun. Aynun. Next. No. Jay. Jaybun. Next. Aina. Aina. Next. Laylun. Laylun. Now the bottom now. So we're doing the exact same thing, okay? Lawnun. Lawnun. Next. Z. Zawjun. Next. Lawlabun. Lawlabun. Next. Fawqa. Fawqa. Next. Jawrabun. Next. Naumun. Very good. Next. Jawfun. And the last one. Yeah. Yaw. Yawmun. Yawmun. Okay, so homework, I want you to practice this page, okay? Practice page 48. Okay, the sukun, practice page 48. Practice reading those words. They all have meanings, but you're only required to know the 9 in the box. The 9 with pictures, okay? So that's going to be a vocabulary quiz for next week. So far we did 9 words from last week. You got to know them. If you didn't know them yet, learn them. What's the best way to learn vocabulary? Index card. Use the index card. You draw it out or photocopy it. You can take photocopy and just cut each one out. Put it in an index card and look at the item, whatever it is, right? Look at it without the Arabic there. Just look at it. Try to remember what it is. So you see a nose, for instance. You got to remember what's the word for nose. In the back of it, you put the Arabic. Anfun. Don't put transliteration. Don't write A-N-F-U-N. No. Don't do that. That's going to screw you up. Okay, don't do that. So, anfun, for instance, you put hamza, noon, fa, just as it's written. For instance, mistaratun, you do the exact same thing. So that's how you should learn the vocabulary. The next thing is, okay, when you come back next week, we'll practice the words the ones we left out in lesson 9 from Qaida Nuraniya. The ones we left out, we'll practice them. Technically, you have all the skills now to do all of lesson 9. But we'll go through them next week, inshallah. If you could do them, you can do them, sure. Go ahead and do it. Something I want to explain to you before you go. Okay, notice that, let's take the word mawzatun, for instance. Mawzatun. Okay, look at how it's written. Mawzatun, right? Okay, remember I said that sometimes you write the sukoon and sometimes it's not there. So you may see mawzatun written like this. Mawzatun. Okay? Mawzatun. Now, how do you know, for instance, how do you know that this waw is not used for elongating the meme? How do you know that the waw is not used to elongate the meme here? You have all the tools to answer this question. It goes back to the last lesson we did. Waw is used to elongate which vowel? Dhamma. The Dhamma, right? This vowel, right? Dhamma. So if you see a fatha on top of it, right? Alright? And you see a waw after it, right? With no vowel, 100% that's going to be mau. There's a sukoon there. Okay, there's a sukoon there. Right? Another example is, for instance, let's look at the word baytun, right? Baytun. How do we know that this ya, if we took off the sukoon, right? How do we know that this ya is not elongating the ba? It goes with a kasra. If there was a kasra here, it would say bitun. Bitun, right? Right? If it was a kasra, yes, and we don't see any vowel here, then we can say yes, this ya is elongating the ba. Bitun. But if there is no kasra here and there's a fatha, this can only be a sukoon. It can only be baytun. Cannot be bitun. Okay? What about a alif? If I gave you like the word babun, right? Babun. Okay, now this is going to answer the answer I'm looking for is based on a question that you asked them on. How do we know that this alif is, how do we know for sure the only thing that the alif could be doing is elongating the ba? Huh? What if I did something like this? What letter is this now? The middle letter. What letter is this? That's Hamza. That's Hamza. What letter is this now? The middle one. Alif. Alif is only used to elongate a fatha. Only. Right? So you're not going to see a alif and then think, well, could that be like ba'sun? Could it be like ba'sun? No. If there's no Hamza sign on it, it has to be an alif. And it can only be babun and nothing else. Okay, what about if... Huh? No, if it was Hamza, if it was Hamza, it follows the rule of alif. So it's not going to connect anyways. I mean, you can't connect anything. No, it doesn't stand for itself. If you put a Hamza here, it's written just like this. Just as it is. You don't connect from this side. Okay, only lam does it. But you can connect from the right hand side of the alif. Okay, look at this word. Now, how do you pronounce that? Are you going to use this to elongate the ba? No, you wouldn't. Because I said you can only elongate a fatha with an alif, and this is not an alif, this is a hamza. So it's going to be ba, sun. Here there's a sukoon here. So you have the sound, the ba, sun. Ba, sun. Let's try another one. Ra-sun. Ra-sun. Okay, what about this one? Bi'sa. 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 Okay, just look out for the Hamza. Okay, so we'll end with that inshallah. So again, you know what your homework is, right? What page is homework? Page 48? All right. Okay, inshallah. And page 16 and 17 in Al-Qaidatun Nuraniyah. Okay, we'll stop inshallah. Review. Remember, if you don't review, by the time we get to the next lesson, the shadda it's going to be a lot when you put everything on you now. It's going to be a lot. So please review. Okay, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.